What I find interesting these days when I look at the B2B SaaS landscape is there is an desperation for leads. A lot of companies for the last couple of years, the rising tide lifted all ships, and it was easy from a marketing perspective to bring in leads. Now times are tougher. A lot of entrepreneurs and CEOs are a little bit anxious about keeping the business moving forward. And one of the things that they're focused on is conversations, is getting in front of prospects and customers for that matter, and having conversations about why they matter and what they can do. And what I find really interesting about a podcast is like it's like a Trojan horse in many respects, is that it gives you an excuse to reach out to prospects, influencers, customers, the media, and ask them to have a 30-minute conversation with you. And that's a big ask if it's not a podcast. But what I find is that podcasts, I also describe them as digital catnip. It's really hard for people to resist an invitation to a podcast. The 2 years that I've run a podcast, I would say a couple of people, only a couple of people have actually turned me down, and everybody else says yes, because a podcast is easy to appear on. You really don't have to do a lot of preparation because most people know the answers inside out. If I'm a CEO and I'm looking at a podcast and I want conversations, I would be all over them. I would see this as one way to do rock solid marketing that's going to have a lot of benefits, but they still don't see that, and that is very puzzling to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this really comes down to the concept that I think James Carberry from Sweetfish Media described quite well, content-based networking. When you're creating content together with your ideal customer or partner, it's easy to really ask for their time. Happy to jump on your stage and share their point of view. It's not bait and switch strategy. Both parties win if it's executed properly, and if the creator of the content is treating it as a way to deepen the relationship, to establish the relationship. And it's not like that you finish recording a podcast and then you start pitching me your services. I mean, that really wouldn't work. That would leave a very bitter taste in my mouth if that would happen after this recording. What will happen after this podcast is that, yes, I will interact with you more on LinkedIn. We'll be sending you more guests. And over time, when I will need more help with positioning, I will think about Mark, who can actually help me. It's a way to establish relationship. It's a way to network with interesting people. And you really need to be in the right mindset to believe that this will lead to results. If you're a very transactional marketer and entrepreneur, this wouldn't make much sense.